Good morning. My name is Sharon McDougle, and I'm here to discuss my job for my former job as a Space Shuttle Crew Escape Equipment Department manager. As the manager of the Crew Escape Equipment Department, I had to oversee a team of 25 technicians who supported the Space Shuttle program with the launch entry suit, which you see behind me, the orange suits that was worn by all astronauts that flew aboard the Space Shuttle. Now, as the manager, I had to make sure everything was correct and right and ready for all of their training and for launch. My teams would go down and support launch. They had a practice launch, and then they also had a lot of training events here in Houston before they went to Florida for the launch. But I didn't begin my career as a manager. I began my career in the Air Force, which is where I received all of my training as a technician to work on the pressure suits that the SR-71 and U-2 reconnaissance aircraft pilots had to wear because they flew at such high altitudes and at fast speeds as well. After I got out of the Air Force, I was fortunate enough to get a job with the space program and be a member of the NASA family. And I moved to Texas, and then I was a technician. And as a technician, I still did pretty much the same job I did in the Air Force. And I suited up astronauts, many astronauts over the years, and it was like one of the best jobs ever. And you have to have, of course, your math and your science, your STEM, and be trainable, of course. And then you can, there's many other jobs besides being an astronaut, so you too can do it. You don't have to be an astronaut to work with the space program. So many other opportunities out there. After being a technician, I moved up and was promoted to a crew chief, which led a team of 5 to 6 people. When we trained and suited up the astronauts for all their training, we would go down for launch again, go down for practice training. Anytime the astronauts got in the suits, we would be there to assist them, except in space, of course. They did it on their own in space. In the training, we learned how to take different parts and pieces off of the suit. We had to pressurize the suit, make sure it worked properly before the astronauts put it on. Once the astronauts did put the suit on, we'd have to pressurize it again, which is inflating it, and making sure it's not leaking and they were getting oxygen and everything is working good before they actually launched. And then we'd show them the proper way to put the suit on too, because we won't be in space to help them put it on, right? And so after that, my last 8 years I spent as the manager, which was it was the most amazing time because I had no idea I would become a manager because I didn't even have a college degree, but I had all of those years of experience to be able to get that position. And so now I'm going to tell you about the suit. As you can see, it's behind me, right? The suit was called the launch entry suit and eventually evolved into the advanced crew escape suit. And this was the fun part of the job, getting to go out and suit up the crew members, getting to know them, and just having a good time. We had one of the coolest jobs at NASA, if you ask me. So the suit was worn for launch and re-entry to protect them if they had to bail out. It's orange because if they had to bail out, whether they land in the ocean or on land, orange is easily seen. It's a universal help color, right? They had the suit. They had the special underwear called liquid cooling garments that they had to put on first. But the very first thing they had to put on was a diaper. I know. Grown-ups have to wear diapers. And they had to wear the diaper because they're lying on their backs almost 4 hours inside the shuttle before it actually launched. Once we get them all strapped in, they can't not get up and go to the restroom. And it would be difficult anyway because of all the equipment they have on and try to take that off just to go to the restroom. So they have their diaper on just in case. They don't always use it, but just in case they have to have it. And so they have their diaper, their liquid cooling garments, which are like long johns with these tubes sewn all through it. And it has this nice ice cold water that would go through right against their body to help keep them cool because they didn't have regular air conditioning like we have at our house. After that, then they have their regular socks on, and they'll come in, and they'll sit down like in a lazy boy chair, lounge chair, and the suit would be lying on the floor, and they'd put one leg, and then one arm, and then they have to pop their head through the neck seal. And the seal was the size of their neck, and of course your head is bigger than your neck, so sometimes it's a little hard to pop through there. But once they pop through, they stand up, stretch out, and we make sure everything's all straightened out. And then we zip them up. The zipper goes from the top, right by the neck and the back, all the way around to the front crotch area. And then you have to snap it. After that, they put on their boots, because we don't want them to get holes in the bottom of the suit. So they immediately put their boots on. Then they have a communications cap, which they would put on, and it has like microphones, and earphones, of course, so they can hear and talk to each other once they're in the shuttle, and talk to mission control, of course. And after that, we put the helmet on, and you have to make sure the helmet clicks, because the helmet has their shield, their visor, and it also has a bunch of little holes across the top where their oxygen comes out. So once we close the helmet down, we don't close it yet, I'm sorry, put the gloves on. That's the last thing. So you put their gloves on, make them click, and then we have to remember to close their helmet, and then we have to hook up all our hoses and wires and everything and oxygen, and we'll test the suit. We'll pressurize it so they start inflating like a Michelin Man. And then once they get tested, we depressurize, and then if you ever watch pre-launch activities, they walk out and they're waving, and when they're walking out waving, getting in the big silver van, the Astro van, they just left the O&C suit-up room where we just finished working with them. And they ride out to the shuttle to get strapped in. And then they have to lie out there, like I said, 3.5 to 4 hours. To become a manager, you have to have the preferred at least 10 years experience, prefer a college degree, but if you don't have that, 10 years of experience in that field. And of course, good soft skills, working with people, because you have to manage a team and have to deal with a lot of different personalities. I didn't want to become a manager. I wanted to stay a suit tech, going out, suiting up to crew members and doing the fun part of the job. But, it was time to grow. So when the position became available, I submitted and I interviewed and I got the position because I did have a lot of experience from the Air Force and from the other 14 years as a technician. So I had quite a bit of experience and I loved my job. It was one of the coolest jobs in aerospace to me. As same as the Air Force. So if you're looking for a great career, I would say the military is a great choice. It was years ago, of course, when I went in. I went in right out of high school, but that is an option. And also for college, that's an option because they'll pay for your college. Well, I'll take that back. I don't know how it is now, but then they paid for you to go to school. But I had such a fun job traveling and doing everything that I didn't take advantage of that. But I still did pretty good. I ended up being a manager and making history all in the same time. And met a few movie stars. So working in aerospace, remember, the astronaut is not the only career there is. You can have many other opportunities to work with the space program. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Any questions, I guess you ask your teacher and she can get them to me and I'll be happy to answer them. I'm Sharon McDougle, former Space Shuttle Crew Escape Equipment Manager and Suit Tech. And I hope you guys have a great day.